Now we head to the Western Conference Finals. Golden State Warriors, they will be at home hosting the Dallas Mavericks. John, what are your thoughts?
Well, I didn't expect the Mavericks to get this far. I think the Suns are going to win this. Luka's going to get his, but I'm just not confident enough in the other guys in a high-pressure situation that they haven't really been in yet to perform like they need to.
A few moments later.
McGee defending. Shot clock is whittled down to 4, and there is 30 points for Spencer Dinwiddie.
So I don't really know if I can accurately judge like how good they really are. I mean, I've watched them, and they kill people with the 5 out. They run this small ball lineup where they got Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Luka all out there together. They can just use their best 5 players on the floor. They like to run Maxi Kleber out there because he can shoot, but then they also have Dwight Powell they can mix in for some of the more athletic pick and roll type of stuff. So the Mavericks, they got a lot of good players, but the reason I thought that they would lose to Phoenix is I did not expect in Game 7 in Phoenix for their other players to step up outside of Luka. I was wrong on that. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30 points on like 18 shot attempts or something like that. He had an absurd amount of threes. He was just getting whatever he wanted. Jalen Brunson, I think he had like 26, 28, somewhere around there, points in that game as well. So that, Luka got production from the other guys. Now, can they do that against Golden State? It might just be because I'm underrating Dallas. And if that's the case and I'm proven wrong again, I accept that. And yeah, it's a flaw of mine. But I think Golden State's going to win the series. I'm going to take Golden State in 6. I talk about the small ball, and that's what the Mavericks thrive on. Golden State is the reason that most of the league runs the small ball. This is their thing. They're not afraid to run out there with Steph, Poole, Clay, Wiggins, and Draymond. They will do that if you start running those small ball lineups, and they have the defenders to make that work. I imagine they would throw a combo of Clay and Wiggins at Luka. You got Draymond who can guard anybody, and then you're going to throw, Steph and Poole, and maybe some of the other guys. And that's where a Jalen Brunson and a Spencer Dinwiddie are going to have to step up, is in those specific matchups. But then obviously the tough part is that Golden State has some great bench players too. They can bring in Kuminga, who can bring in energy and defense and some of these other things. So I don't know. I think that Golden State's just deeper. I think that they have more ability to guard what Dallas is going to want to do. And I think they're just going to be smarter, honestly. And I hate to say that about Phoenix, but on the series, Davis Bertans had like a +7 net rating. He's so terrible at defense, and the only value he provides offensively is 3-pointers. He should have been played off the court in a series like that, to where you start attacking him religiously on the defensive side of the ball to where they have to sub him out. I fully expect Golden State to be the team that would take advantage of that. You get Steph with all the different off-ball action and crazy movement that they do. All of a sudden you get Steph guarded by him, and he's going to take advantage of it. And all of a sudden a guy like that, you can't play him because of it. And that limits the rotation that you have. So I'm going to take the Warriors here. Like I said, if you're a Mavericks fan watching this, I have been wrong about you last series. I was right the first round against Utah, but I was wrong against the Suns. I thought they would wipe the floor with you guys in 5. I was totally wrong. I thought they'd handle the business at Game 7. Totally wrong. So don't be offended by me picking the Warriors here, because like I said, I could just be completely underrating you guys, and I admit that. But I think that everything the Mavericks want to do, Golden State, in my opinion, is just better at.
That's what I was going to start with, is you're not going to 5 out Golden State. I know they probably aren't the first team to 5 out, but they did it pretty well. Obviously, we all remember the death lineup. It's not exactly the death lineup anymore, but they run a lot of 5 out. And on top of that, too, one of my criticisms against Dallas, which I was proven wrong, was a little bit too Luka dominant on generating the offense, while Golden State, Draymond is usually the facilitator, but nonetheless, it's a lot of, like you mentioned, off-ball stuff. Memphis had a real tough time figuring it out. It involves a lot of communication and things like that. And I'm not confident in Dallas to be able to handle that. It's just Golden State's built for the 5 out. I mentioned, I just feel like Phoenix would pose a little bit more issues for Golden State as opposed to Dallas. We're kind of just falling into the trap that Golden State wants you to play. They want you to play small. So they can keep, so Draymond can, be the best big out there, basically.
And that allows them to keep like a Jordan Poole out there that they might not be able to if, you go bigger.
And we saw Clay, have a really good Game 6, and he's kind of finally started being Klay Thompson again offensively. I think he's been there defensively, or at least close to it. Otto Porter, Kuminga, Wiggins has kind of really just committed himself defensively. He's been a solid defender as well. I just think this is a whole different can of worms for Dallas. I'm still giving the respect. I think Golden State wins in 6. I could see 7. And I do want to give credit to Dinwiddie. That trade, I criticized it. It's looking pretty good. Another ball handler, someone else I can create and score while Luka, is either on the floor or off the bench. Same with Brunson. I just don't think it's enough to beat Golden State. Steph really hasn't even gotten fully going, but it hasn't mattered. Jordan Poole's had moments these playoffs. And obviously Clay has. As long as Draymond's healthy, I'm pretty confident in the Warriors taking this series. We're both going Warriors, but much respect to Luka and Dallas. They exceeded my expectations as well. I mean, if anyone wants to talk about being negative against Dallas, I picked against Dallas every series thus far, and obviously I've been wrong. If I'm wrong again, you're welcome, Dallas fans. I'm doing you a favor. The pod curse lives on.